This is the Gateway Packaging Podcast, brought to you by Tenso Strapping. This podcast shares what's happening inside our business, as well as the latest from the world of packaging solutions. All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of the podcast. Very excited today. We have our Business Development Manager, Andrew Groves, in to have a chat with us. Welcome, mate.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So, mate, let's kick off this episode with just a bit about yourself and where you're from and a bit of your backstory.
So, Andrew Groves, Business Development Manager here at Gateway Packaging, 37. Couple of kids, married, originally from New South Wales.
Okay.
So, not that I follow the rugby.
We'll let you go on that one. Yep.
Not that I follow the rugby, but we levelled the score the other night. Lived there till I was about 8 or 9. Moved over to Western Australia for 4 years.
Okay.
And then came back here in 93 to a flooded Mooroopna.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And nice welcome.
Yes.
And been here ever since, so 26 years this year.
There we go. Look out. Time flies, mate.
It absolutely does, yeah.
So, Business Development Manager now at Gateway. But before we launch into basically your career at Gateway, what sort of things were you doing before you came to the company?
So I left school early, left in year 10, got a job at a bakery, thought that's what I wanted to do and did that for 12 years and, yeah, really enjoyed it.
It's a long time.
It was a long time, but in that time I got married and had kids.
Okay.
And then it just wasn't working. Shift work with kids and trying to see them and actually be a part of their lives was difficult.
I can imagine.
So made a choice to change and found a job with a local freight company, just driving a delivery truck, and
nice.
And then came across to Gateway. Through working for the freight company, knew Bob, Craig, and Peter here at Gateway, and heard on the grapevine they were looking for someone to jump into their warehouse.
Good opportunity.
So took it with both hands and been here ever since.
Perfect. The rest is history.
So they say.
Mate, so let's talk about the current role now, and the whole idea of creating this podcast is to share a bit more of what goes on inside Gateway and help people to connect a little bit more with everybody who's involved. So what does your current role involve?
Current role, Business Development Manager, so growing our customer portfolio. Just hitting the ground, seeing who's out there, seeing what they're using, just growing our business and just grabbing a little bit more of that market share. Yeah,
perfect. Love it. And so when you did first start at the company, how did you work your way up, I suppose? What was the process there?
Well, it was a lot smaller company than what it is now.
Yeah.
The growth that we've experienced in the nearly 8 years that I've been here has been quite exponential. So I started out in the warehouse, and that's sort of the only role that was available at the time. And then as we grew, we needed someone dedicated to look after the operational side of things, organising freight companies. And then that developed into the purchasing role as well. So I jumped on board, grabbed the purchasing and operations role, and we got someone else in to sort of fill the role that I was doing in the warehouse.
You're right.
And then there was a need for a little bit of pinch hitting in sales, so I did that. I thought I'd really enjoy it, and I have. And then it got to the point where I needed to dedicate all of my time to sales because it was working and I was enjoying it. So then we had someone that we needed to get in, which is Nick, to look after the operations and purchasing. So who knows where it's going to go to from here? Yeah,
exactly. So you really have sort of been involved in, that sort of growth of the company. You've been there, you've stepped up through the ranks, and you've really been a part of it.
Absolutely, and I know the products inside and out, and it was a natural progression.
Yes,
it was as much as I said it was very quick in the last 8 years. It was a very seamless transition. There was no big jumps, and I sort of dabbled in everything before I jumped into it, and the guys here were quite happy for me to sort of have a go at it and see if I liked it first. There's no point doing it if you don't like it or you're not good at it, to be completely honest. So.
Perfect. That's great. So what what do you love about sales? What's what is it that you enjoy about your role?
I'm a people person, I believe. I just love talking to people. Not so much, I do enjoy selling to them because that's always a nice bonus. But no, I just enjoy talking to people, just hearing their stories, finding out where they're from. I was only talking to a potential customer the other day who happened to not grow up, he happened to live in the suburb next to where I spent 4 years of my life in Western Australia.
Okay.
And it was just a random question, and then we get talking, and I just enjoy things like that because that's the sort of stuff that I can then speak to my family about. Hey, I met someone today who knows where I'm from, and
that's right.
Had a very similar experience, and
bit of a connection.
And that's what I like, just talking to people.
That's great. So that sort of really ties into building relationships. And do you feel like that relationship building is an important part of sales, or an important part of the success that you have in your role is the relationships you build with people?
Absolutely, because they say that people buy from people, they don't buy from companies. And that's something that I swear by. You build that relationship, not only will they buy from you, it'll be very, very difficult for them to then want to change.
Yes.
Because they sort of feel like they're letting you down, and that's not what you don't want to foster that. You don't want people to think, they're going to feel bad if they leave me. It's just a natural thing if you build that relationship.
That's right.
That they just feel like they have a connection to Gateway, and
and if you can keep providing that value and that great service, then most of the time there is no reason to leave. So
that's right, and they go hand in hand. So if you're a good person that treats them well and listens to what they have to say, plus you've got a good product, then it's a win-win. Yeah,
perfect. So can you step us through what a week in the life of Andrew Groves might look like at Gateway?
Early-ish mornings.
Yes.
Usually 2 to 3 days a week in Melbourne doing sales calls.
Yep.
And then the rest here at Gateway, basically planning, following up, chasing down leads, chasing quotes.
All the admin
sort of side of things. But there's a solid 2 to 3 days in Melbourne, and they're the days that I really enjoy. I've come to love. So going around, seeing people, talking to them, getting to know them, seeing what they do.
Yep. That's great. What are you hoping to achieve in your time at Gateway? Obviously, you've been in many of the positions that are available in the company as it's grown up. What does the future look like? What does the future hold?
Who knows? I don't know what goes on from sales.
Yep.
I'd like to think this is where I'll stay.
Yep.
I really enjoy it. But who knows what roles potentially could be out there? We could expand and open up little sub branches in other parts of the country that I might be able to go and visit, things like that. Going to other places, South Australia, New South Wales, those sorts of places that I haven't sort of visited other than sort of phone calls to speak to potential customers. There might be the opportunity then to sort of reach out and go and see those places.
Yeah, perfect, excellent, mate. Let's wrap up with some quickfire questions. Let's get ready to roll on these.
Let me go. Hang on. Let's go.
All right, so let's go with your favourite sport.
Quickfire. Sorry,
there's so many, isn't there?
Yeah. Let's go with triathlon.
Okay. Favourite weekend activity.
Gardening.
There we go.
Yep.
iPhone or Samsung?
iPhone.
That was very quick.
Yep.
Favourite drink?
Scotch.
Hot or cold weather?
Cold.
Okay, so you're a happy man at the moment.
Yeah.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee, black.
And favourite holiday destination?
I've been to Bali a few times, so heading back. I love it.
Yes, we all enjoy Andrew's holiday catch-ups here at the office. The beautiful picturesque photos of Bali that come through. So, and
they seem to be getting more frequent, so I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah. No, mate, thank you very much for coming in today and having a bit of a chat. We'll definitely have to get you back on the podcast in the near future and keep discussing sales and building relationships and all that good stuff. So,
absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Gateway Packaging Podcast. If you'd like more information on today's episode, please head to our website, gatewaypackaging.com.au, and don't forget to follow us via our LinkedIn company page. Just search Gateway Packaging.